Hybrid picking is a technique that combines the use of your pick and your fingers, allowing for greater expressiveness and versatility in your playing. In this video, I'll break down the fundamentals of hybrid picking, provide exercises to develop accuracy and speed, and show you how to apply this technique in various musical contexts. Before we get started, let's cover the basics. Alright, the first step is to position your pick between your thumb and your index finger, as you would for regular picking. Next, we'll use our middle and ring fingers to pluck the strings. Let's just do that with the D, the G, and the B string to begin with. So I'm going to pick the D string with my pick, and I'm going to pick the G with my middle finger, and I'm going to pick the B with my ring finger like this. Now let's take an A minor chord shape and practice that using hybrid picking. Start with the basic 3-string approach first. Position your ring finger on the 7th fret of the D string. Your first finger will then go on the 5th fret of the G and then roll over to the 5th fret of the B, and then we'll go backwards. I'm using the pick to play the D string, the middle finger to play the G, and the ring finger to play the B, again as I was in the first example. You can either play it as a chord like this, or an arpeggio shape like this. We can also expand on that arpeggio and include the octave on the high E string. I'm going to play the same shape as before, but this time I'm going to roll my finger over to the 5th fret of the high E string. I'm also going to change the picking up. I prefer to use 2 downstrokes followed by my middle finger and then my ring finger. For the descending pattern, I'm going to use my ring finger, my middle finger, and then 2 upstrokes. As you practice, focus on maintaining a steady rhythm and aim for an even volume between the picked notes and the plucked notes. Once you've become comfortable with this basic exercise, it's time to broaden your horizons and incorporate hybrid picking into your regular playing style. You can use hybrid picking for various techniques such as arpeggios, scales, and even chord embellishments. Here's an example of a descending pentatonic scale using hybrid picking. For this pattern, I played a descending A minor pentatonic scale. I played the 8th fret on the high E string going down to the 5th fret on the high E string, and then the 8th fret on the B string. I picked all 3 of those notes to begin with. Once I got to the 8th fret of the B string, I went back to the 5th fret on the high E string, this time using my middle finger to pluck that note. I then did the same thing with the B string, playing the 8th fret down to the 5th fret, 7th fret on the G, back to the 5th fret on the B. Again, when I go back to the previous string, I use the middle finger to pick the note. It's the same thing with the G to the D string, so 7, 5 on the G, 7 on the D, back to 5 on the G using my middle finger. D string to A string, 7 down to 5, 7 on the A string, back to 7 on the D, middle finger plucks the D string on the way back. And then finally, this was 7 to 5 on the A string, 8 on the E string, back to 5 on the A string, pluck that note with your middle finger. And then to finish off with 8, 5, slide to 3, all on the E string, back to 5 on the same string. Here's an example of how hybrid picking can be used in a repeating pentatonic lick, which you can transpose all over the neck. I'm going to use A minor pentatonic as an example again. To perform that lick, I'm going to hammer on from the 5th fret of the D string to the 7th fret on the same string. I'm going to use my pick to pick that string. I'm going to go onto the 5th fret of the G string, going to use my middle finger to pluck that note. Back to the D string, using my pick, pull off from the 7th fret of the D string to the 5th fret on the same string, and then hammer back on. Roll that 3rd finger across to fret 7 on the G string, pick that with your middle finger, and then pull off, hammer on 7, 5, 7 on the D string using your pick. Repeat that, I'll do it slowly. Make Make sure you maintain an even rhythm throughout. You can also transpose that lick to any two strings on the fretboard. This time I'm going to do a similar lick on the B string and the high E string. Hammer on from fret 5 on the B string to fret number 8, roll across to fret 5 on the high E string, pull off 8-5 on the B, hammer back onto 8, roll that third finger across to fret number 8 on the high E string. I also like to incorporate hybrid picking into my chord and rhythm work, like in this example here. For that lick, I took the same A minor chord that we started off this lesson with. So fret 7 on the D string, and then I barred across 5 on the G, B and the high E string. I pick the D string twice with the pick, and then I pluck the B and the E string with my middle finger and my ring finger respectively. And then for the fill, I pick fret 5 on the G string and slide up to 7. Ring finger on fret 7 on the high E string, pick that with your middle finger. Re-pick the G string fret 7 and then slide that down to 5. Ring finger on fret 5 on the high E string, use your middle finger to pick that one. Remember to pay attention to your hand positioning, relax your fingers, and maintain a smooth and fluid motion while picking and plucking the strings. That wraps up this introduction to hybrid picking. I hope you found this video helpful in expanding your guitar skills. As always, practice regularly and be patient with yourself, and with time and dedication, you'll master this technique and take your guitar playing to new heights. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated for all of my future videos. Until next time, take care and enjoy guitar playing.